Hey everybody, I'm back with another product review. Today I'm going to review the Mantis X10 Elite. I managed to get my hands on one of these. I bought my first Mantis X, the original Mantis X, about 3-4 years ago, and I was just learning how to shoot. And I got to tell you, if nothing else, this thing was just fun to use. It was really cool having real-time analysis of all the issues I was going through during while I was taking my shots. It helped me with my trigger control, hold control, and follow through. And I'll tell you this also. One thing I like about Mantis off the top is that they understand conservationism because they're conservative in terms of the packaging. I got my original Mantis, this device here, came in this hard shell case, a really cool case that came in just a simple box, and that's it. And I have no problem with that. I love that. You just open it up, and this is the original Mantis, the Mantis X, okay? Now we're going to see a lot of differences, a few differences between this original product and the Mantis X10 Elite. So let's go ahead and open this up. So again, just simplicity in packaging. I love that. I love the branding of just beautiful branding. And inside we get a quick start guide, which tells you how to get up and rolling right away. But I'm going to take you through a few more steps. But it's very simple, very intuitive. And once again, not a lot of needless waste. A box with foam and a beautiful, now this is a soft case that came with it. I love this, just simplicity at its best. So let's see all the contents that come in the case. So one of the biggest things I'll say right off the bat between the Mantis X10 and the original Mantis X is that this device can be used not only with your pistol, but it can be used with your rifle, shotgun, and your bow, which is amazing. So first thing I notice is that we have these adapters here. Now I assume these are intended for mounting on a long gun, like a rifle or a shotgun. We have this mount here. It's a Picatinny rail adapter. And inside we do have screws that you can use to clamp that down onto the barrel. We have charging cable, USB charging cable. We have a mini Picatinny rail that has 3M tape on it so that you can fix this, I guess, permanently to a firearm. We have screws and a hex wrench that you would use with this. And we have some cleaning cloth and an alcohol cloth or cleaning cloth. Cute little Mantis sticker. And we got these things here. I'm not really sure what these are, to be honest with you. I'm going to assume that these are guards or padding that you can put on the edge of these teeth here so they don't scratch up your barrel. I'm not sure. But given that I am going to be using this for my pistol, at least starting off, I'm not going to worry about this. But here's the device itself, the Mantis X10 Elite. Now, as you can see, a significant decrease in size, which is great. Now, that's not to say that the original Mantis was difficult to manage because it's a lot larger. No, not at all. But hey, smaller is better, right? Now, just to get started, all you need to do is go to your smartphone and download the Mantis app. Now, I had the original Mantis X app on my phone because I was using it with my original Mantis X. When I got the Mantis X10 Elite, I just started playing with it. I opened up the app and it seemed to work fine with it. But for the purposes of this review, I just wanted to go in and check to see if there was a new app. And there are a couple of new apps, one for pistol and rifle, one for bow, and one for, I forget what the third one is, shotgun, I believe. So I just updated my original app with the pistol and rifle app. So download that, and you are just about ready to start playing with the Mantis X10. With the original Mantis, it wasn't difficult, but it was a lot more involved putting it onto the pistol. And I can tell you as an instructor, when I wanted to use this with my students, this was invaluable, but if I had multiple students in the class, it just took way too much time to take this off and mount it onto another gun, onto the next student's gun. But one of the improvements that they made was ease and simplicity of putting this onto your rail. You simply slide this onto the front of your firearm, then you press down on this lever here, slide it in, and then it instantly finds that groove and you're good to go. Now, one nitpick I have about this new design, even though it's brilliant in how fast you can put this on now, I personally don't like manipulating my firearm with my hand or my finger this close to the muzzle. And even if I decide I want to put this on backwards, which is a little bit more difficult to do, I'm still having to kind of fumble and my fingers are just, to me, in a bad spot. With the old Mantis, however, I could manipulate the Mantis underneath where I feel a little bit more safer. So, but that's just a nitpick. That's just a nitpick. I wanted to point out that with some firearms, such as with this SIG 365 XL, it does not have a pick rail, and this groove here does not extend all the way to the end of the frame. So the Mantis will not mount onto it natively. But you can buy a $30 adapter. Specifically, I know for the 365 that they sell on the Mantis site, if I'm not mistaken. So just be aware that you may have to lay out a little bit more cash, not a lot, 30 bucks. But if you are so bold, you can take this little adapter here that I showed you earlier, pull off the tape and stick it to the bottom of your frame. Now, me personally, I don't think I could permanently affix this to my firearm, but it would give you a rail. It would kind of hang down a little low, but you do have that option. So let's go ahead and mount this on. And on our smartphone, we're going to open up the Mantis X app, and you get a nice little welcome there. And now we want to connect. So all we need to do there is power up the Mantis by pressing this button underneath. And you'll see a pulsing green light. That means it is ready to connect. We tap on connect, and it's connected. As simple as that. Next step is to calibrate the Mantis, which is very simple to do as well. You'll get a calibration window on your phone. It'll ask you to set the gun down with the Mantis attached on a flat, stable surface, and it'll automatically calibrate. Should take only a few seconds. So just to go through this screen a little bit more for you, right now I'm going to take you to settings. So we're shooting with a pistol, not shooting with a rifle. So we want to have pistol selected. I am a right-handed shooter, so I want to select right hand. We are shooting now, we're shooting dry fire. So we want to make sure dry is showing there. And they have even more options here. Are you shooting with a single action firearm or the double action firearm? I'm actually shooting with a double single, so I'm going to tap that. So let's go back. Those are your settings. Also, like we talked about the mount direction, if you want to put it on backwards, if that's the only way you can get it on your rail, then you can select backwards. And your mount location, and you have a pick rail along the top, on the sides, you can select. Now it's telling me 99% of the time you're going to need bottom selected. And I agree, because I'm only going to be using my pistol. Or right or left. So I'm going to keep it at bottom. All right, so let's go back. All right, so now that we're all set up and connected, let's go ahead and start doing some dry fire practice. That's what we're set up for. And we're going to go into Mantis X introduction. Tap right there. Step 1, do 5 shots dry practice in open training. So we're going to scroll down and we have open training highlighted here. We're going to tap that and we get very prescriptive instructions here. We're set for dry double action, right-handed, and our Mantis is facing forward. We're going to hit start. Mantis X is now analyzing your movement data in real time and looking for dry practice shots. Go ahead and take 5 shots now. So let's do that. You don't have to be shooting at a target for this. The Mantis just wants to analyze how you're holding the firearm. So mentally, you could just pick any spot on the wall. What you want to do is just maintain your sights and maintain that pistol from shaking or moving too much. That's what this is all about. So I've picked a spot on the wall. I'm going to punch out, and we're going to see what happens here. We're going to take 5 shots.
89, 93, 90, 97, 87.
All right. Finger off the trigger, come back to high ready, and rock the slide back, make it safe. Okay. You could hear the vocalization coming from my phone telling me what my score was real time. So let's take a look at what we got here. It says great shooting. Go ahead and tap the stop button to see some summary statistics of your 5-shot session. So we hit stop. So my average score, it flashed up really quickly, was a 91.5. I'll take it. So now you get this instruction on how to read the chart. Okay. So I can see my shots represented with these red bars. And what this tells me is that I was hitting low right, low left, and to the left. Now, it's not going to give me anything inside the target where the score is, but it will give me some prescription on what I need to do to fix the most minute of movement. So let's tap on this red here. Now see, that red, we'll go back so you can see that again. I tapped here on the lower right. So I hit lower right because it suggests that maybe I was tightening my grip while pulling the trigger. So it's going to give you analysis of your shots. When I go to the low left, it says I'm tightening my fingers, means that the grip is too tight. So, okay, we're seeing a pattern here. My grip is too tight. Now let's go to the one on the horizontal left. It says too little trigger finger. Okay. I don't remember my trigger finger slipping, but I will take the analysis. And most importantly, my average score was 91.5. So I think anything above 90 means you're in the ballpark of properly manipulating your firearm. So we can go even further with the prescription on what we're doing incorrectly by swiping, and we get 2 graphs here, and you get your prescription here. Very helpful. Gives you a graph representing your trigger press movement, represented by yellow, and your hold movement, represented by the blue. So the hold movement is the movement of the gun prior to pressing the trigger. Then the trigger press movement is how you press the trigger to the rear and break the shot. So you can see on my first shot, too much movement on that first shot, but I kind of settled down a little bit more on my subsequent shots. All right. And as you can see, it gives you those prescriptions yet again. But there's even more we can take a look at. When we swipe to the left, we can see an animation of each of our shots. So I'm going to go back to shot 1. See a lot of blue there. That means there's a lot of movement on the firearm before I press the trigger. And you can see there's a lot of movement while I'm pressing the trigger. So we can see that animate. All right. And you can do that for each shot. Overall, I'm kind of happy with that. And as you press each shot, it will change to show you to reflect the different score each time. Awesome. All right, so let's go back. All right, so it shows us that we went through the first step. Now it's taking us to step 2. Perform the Mantis X benchmark drill and review the trace of your lowest score shot. Let's actually place a laser insert into our firearm, and so we have something to judge so we can see how this is matching up with what our eye is showing us visually. So now I've got a target set up in the background. I'm only going to be a little under 3 yards away just for the size and the confines of the classroom. But we finished the first part of the introduction course. Now it has progressed us to the second phase. That's the Mantis X benchmark. It's a non-timed drill. I'm going to tap here. They're asking me to take 10 shots now, and they want me to review the trace of my lowest score shot. The trace is the animations that I showed you previously. Now we're going to hit start, and we're going to punch out. And I don't know if you're going to register the laser. I don't know how well you'll be able to see it with the lighting, but hopefully you'll be able to see it, okay? So I'm going to take 10 shots. Not bad. I'll take it. Average score 92.9. So we can go through. I'm going to press done. And it shows you the blue and the yellow, again, for each shot that I took, that was taken. All right, so now let's go to our lowest score. That looks like it was 84.1. And yeah, a lot of movement after breaking the trigger there, right? Breaking the shot. So something I need to work on. So let's go through. We're going to go back. And now it's moving us on to the next phase. 10 shots in the support hand only drill. So for step 3 of this Mantis introduction course, I decided to come to the range because I wanted to try the live fire setting to see how that works. So what I had to do was I went into the settings and I switched from dry to live. And also because in step 3, one of the directives is to shoot with your support hand only. For me, that would be my left hand. My strong hand is my right hand. So I switched the hand from right to left. Now, I was practicing with it doing live fire prior to getting on camera because I wanted to make sure I knew what I was doing. And no matter what I tried to do, it would not register my hits. Mantis would not register my hits in live fire. I tried a number of things. I tried to reconnect. I tried to recalibrate, and it would not. It would work with dry fire, but not live fire. So I went onto the website. While I'm here on the range, I got onto my phone, found the website on my phone, found the number. It's listed on the website under contact. I called. Within 3 rings, I had someone on the phone, a live person on the phone. His name was Aaron. I told him the issue. He gave me 3 solutions, possible solutions. 1, if you have the Mantis on your frame facing forward so that the forward end is facing outwards in the direction of the muzzle and the USB port is facing you, take it off and put it on so that it's facing backwards, so that the USB port is facing outwards in the same direction as the muzzle. I did that, and so I had to then tap the setting for mounting of the Mantis to backwards. He gave me 2 other prescriptions. One was if it's not registering your live fire shots, plug it into a power source, basically use the charging cable, and press the power button 5 times to reset it. And the third thing, if you're on the range and you don't have access to power, like I'm right here, take a little pen or a needle. There is a little hole on the bottom of the Mantis. Press in, and that'll do a hard reset. Fortunately for me, just putting it on backwards solved the problem. So while I'm in the range in the middle of nowhere, I was able to get on the phone and get some help, and that call lasted all of 2 minutes. So the support is amazing as well. So let's get some shooting in. I got my target back there. I'm going to be shooting with my left hand only. So let's take a look and see what happens. Okay, so it's not the prettiest group, but they're all in center mass. It's still a 4-finger group, which is what we strive for. I like to think I can improve that spreading, but you know, when you're under stress, you're not really worried about that. But left-handed, I'll take it. So I'm gonna go and check the analysis on the Mantis and see what numbers I put up. Let's check that out. Okay, so the numbers are not as good as when I was shooting dry fire, right? Because I'm dealing with recoil. I got a little bit more distance, and I was shooting with my support hand, my left hand, and I'm a right-handed shooter, right? So the numbers are a little low, something for me to work on. Now, I only took 5 shots, but you see 6 shots registered. The reason that is because I believe I probably, after I hit start to start the drill, I racked one into the chamber. I racked around into the chamber, and it probably registered that sound as a shot. So that's just a lesson. Have your firearm hot and ready to go, loaded and ready before you hit start, or it will register the racking of the slide as a shot. So if we can shift the shot numbers up, that means shot number 2 was actually my first shot. So you see that shot number 4, which is listed here, shot number 5, that was my best shot. I was above 90 there. The rest of them were pretty low. Now, we did examine my target, and they were all center mass, but just to remember, the Mantis is trying to troubleshoot the movement of the gun, not necessarily the impact or the bullet placement. So even though I had relatively good placement on my target, that doesn't mean that I still didn't have unnecessary motion on my firearm. So it's always something that I can be training, particularly with the support hand. So in the interest of time, I only did the 5 shots, and I'm not gonna go on to step 4 in this introduction course because I don't want this video to be way long. But once you get your Mantis X10 Elite or any Mantis that you choose, I encourage you to go through that introduction, go through all 4 steps, and then just start scrolling. Once you go through those 4 steps, learn what you need to practice on. This is what this device was invented for. Learn what you need to work on, practice dry fire, come to the range, practice live fire. Also, scroll down and see all of the drills that you can do with the Elite. There's a ton of drills that you can do. It's one of the most versatile tools you can have in your range bag. It's like having an instructor in your range bag. So there you have it, the Mantis X10 Elite. I've seen it online for roughly $200, $250 in that ballpark. I'd say that it's worth every penny. It's so versatile. It gives you so many options to make your dry fire or your live fire interesting, fun, while you're training and developing your skill. And additionally, if you are an instructor, you will look very cool using this on your student's firearm. I'm going to use this for not only myself, but for my students as well. And I'm going to continue to purpose the original Mantis X so I can just get more students training in my classroom. So wonderful product, highly recommend. I will be back with another product review. And if you like what you heard, if you like what you saw, please subscribe below. Thanks everyone. Stay safe out there.